Hello, my name is Dan McManus, and I'm the Executive Director of the Life Enriching Communities Foundation. Thank you for being a part of today's event. We're privileged to share our successes with you and hope it will encourage you as well as give you a clear picture of the impact that your generosity had in 2020. We'll also touch on where we're headed in 2021. As the State of the Foundation meeting is virtual this year, we're thankful to be communicating this message to a large audience, but of course would much rather see your smiling faces in person. Hopefully that's not too far off in the future.
Good evening and welcome to the State of the Foundation. I'm Jack Wild, a 16-year resident of North Campus, and I'm also a member of the Board of Trustees of the LEC Foundation. We are pleased to share with you this evening the results of the Foundation's work this past year, amid what's been a very difficult and unusual year for all of us. The Foundation has been able to gift our communities with substantial resources. As a resident and a member of the board, I want to thank the Foundation staff for all their hard work and for you for all your generous support. And now, let me pass the ball on to our Executive Director, Lisa Zimmers.
Hello, my name is Lisa Zimmers and I'm the Executive Director at Twin Lakes. Coming to you today from Leonard Court, our soon-to-be opened Memory Support Assisted Living. 2020 has brought many challenges, but like any great football team, yards are gained, yards are lost. Our team has remained in the game. I'm so proud of the resilience of the residents, the hard work of the associates, and the partnership of the Foundation. Thank you to everyone who has supported the Foundation, and I want to take this time to introduce Scott McQuinn, Chief Executive Officer of Life Enriching Communities.
Good pass. Hi, this is Scott McQuinn with Life Enriching Communities. If we haven't met, I am the President and CEO and look forward to meeting you at some time. And obviously, this is not the ideal situation, but at least we can meet this way. And obviously, our topic for today is the state of the Foundation, and our theme is football, with the Super Bowl just right around the corner. Looking forward to that. If you're a football fan, maybe that's a little sense of normalcy that we haven't really had much of in recent months, almost a year now, and certainly hope that will happen. And kind of along the theme of football and the teamwork that it takes for a football team to do all they need to do, not just within a game, but within a season or multiple seasons to be successful. The teamwork that's required obviously is significant, just like the teamwork that's required to have a great organization like Life Enriching Communities, or a great community like Twin Lakes or Twin Towers or our now Concord Reserve. We certainly have to work hard at that, and that's something the great Green Bay Packers head coach Vince Lombardi used to talk about, is that there's only one place that you're ever going to find the word success before the word work, and that's of course in the dictionary. So I've always thought that was a clever way to look at it. Other thing about another legendary football coach, this time from the college ranks, Bear Bryant from the University of Alabama. He had 5 keys that he talked about with his teams on an ongoing basis for the decades that he coached, in 6 national championships. One was humility. Know who we are, what our strengths and weaknesses are, how everybody fits into the team. Interestingly, Gregory Peck used to say about humility, if you have to tell them who you are, then you aren't. I've always thought that was clever. Number 2, Bear Bryant's list was passion. Don't be lukewarm. Be committed to excellence. Bring your A game every day, particularly when you don't feel like it. Number 3 on his list was unity. We can't have a divided house. We can't have a divided team where everybody's kind of going in a different direction. Team first. We, not me. Same thing in an organization like ours, or even in our different communities. The collective force and power is so great. The organization always has to come first. Number 4 is servanthood. Being a servant at heart, being a servant leader, if you're in that type of role, it makes the team better. Lead by giving and serving others, modeling the way everywhere, all the time, in everything. And last on the 5 key aspects for Bear Bryant was thankfulness. Let's learn from every circumstance. Every opportunity, even if it's a failure, is a learning opportunity. So I've always been inspired by that particular list. Football is very much about a physical aspect of strength and speed and agility, and that's certainly important. But then the things that we can see very readily are those things. But it's those kind of behind-the-scene things that you don't necessarily see because they're wearing helmets and so on. Communication. There's a lot of communication. When I played football, we were just talking all the time. Sometimes it's a foreign language, but and then trusting your teammates to prepare well before the game. During the off season, during the preseason, during the week before the game. Trusting them to be prepared, to know the plays, to be in the right place at the right time, doing the right things. These are all aspects of any good team, but particularly on a football field, because if your teammates are not in the right places, sometimes somebody's going to get hurt. So with COVID, we've had to really rely on our team and nimbleness of our team to be able to shift and pivot and do different things, and how incredibly important that is. And the foundation and that team, albeit small, has done just that. They've pivoted to do virtual events. They've pivoted to do other things within the communities that are needed and important. And also with football, as it relates to COVID, is there's lots of rules and regulations and guidelines and all these things that you have to follow on football, just like we do in our communities. And we're governed by outside forces. The county health department, the state health department, the federal government, with all the rules and regulations. And when it comes to COVID, it's gotten the CDC and their guidelines and all the things that have gotten more significant. So we can't ignore those things. We have to follow the rules, and we will do that. And they don't always do the things we like. But we have had to do that, and I appreciate your understanding with that, because, like I said, they don't always feel like it makes sense, and sometimes they don't. One of the things I've said about this is the most consistent thing that has happened is the inconsistency of how things have unfolded, but that's the way it is sometimes. We have persevered. We have endured, all of us, you especially as residents and part of the older adult population that is so dramatically impacted by COVID. And our concern is going to be always first and foremost for the well-being and safety of the residents and the associates. So just know that that's always in the forefront of our minds. And that trust and that communication is so critical across our organization. So even in this really extraordinarily challenging time, our supporters, our donors have really remained so generous, and it's just and that's so significantly typically all of you, and we appreciate that. And just reminding ourselves in this kind of an event or communication that the importance of the foundation and supporting benevolent care, pastoral care, the associates, whether it's through recognition, education, or some significant great need that we have through our associate fund. And then lastly, I want to just say to those of you that have become part of the Living Legacy Club, where you've included us in your estate plan, that is just so critical to the long-term sustainability and impact of this organization. We want to thrive long-term, not just survive. And so thank you for being a legacy keeper, keeping that legacy alive well beyond any of us individually. And that's the reason I'm part of the Living Legacy Club myself, is I'm not going to be here forever either, even though some people might say, geez, it feels like he's been here forever. But I know that I'm not. And somewhere down the line, and I want this organization to be in great shape for the long term. So that Living Legacy Club is just vitally important. We appreciate you that have done that, and those that might be interested, please certainly let us know. We can talk more about that. So thank you again. The foundation is critical, as are all parts of our organization. And now we want to listen to how the foundation has been beneficial and such a great impact from our residents. Thank you.
When we were considering Twin Lakes as our retirement home, we were told that our membership would assure that we could continue living in this community when our financial assets were gone. While this wasn't our only reason for moving here, it was a major factor in separating Twin Lakes from its competition. The LEC Foundation is the group within Twin Lakes and Twin Towers which makes this assurance possible. They solicit donations for named areas, such as benevolent care and pastoral care, and they plan events which provide both entertainment and donations. On average, LEC benevolent care costs reach over $1 million annually. I have a sister on the West Coast. Her in-laws lived in Southern California and moved to a retirement home there. They believed they had the same arrangement we have. Unfortunately, their arrangement was not robustly funded. A few years ago, that funding dried up. The father died in 2018 from failing health issues. The mother died a year later from dementia. Their health issues had been well known to their 4 children, but the collapse of the program came as a surprise. The final years of the parents became an unexpected burden to the parents and their children. Ultimately, the donors to the Benevolent Care Fund are the guarantors to the fund and its promise. Although you may never need it yourself, donating to the Benevolent Care Fund is the only insurance you have if you were overly optimistic when you moved in. Harriet and I have lived at Twin Lakes for 6.5 years now. We have thoroughly enjoyed it. It has become much less enjoyable during the period of COVID. We're all hoping that will go away by midsummer or some such time. Meanwhile, we are happy to donate to the Benevolent Care Fund. We think it's a right thing for us to be doing, and equally importantly, at the same time, we are protecting our own future. Thank you.
Well, 2020 has been quite a year. We've seen many changes come about as a result of battling something none of us saw coming. With these changes, we've adapted to a new sense of normal and have seen our communities come together to love and support one another in many special ways. Since the goal of the foundation is to be a blessing, this crisis offered our team that opportunity in unique ways. We took on some different roles, along with many of the other associates within our communities, in order to serve and to meet the needs of our residents and their families. We functioned as greeters and temperature takers. We were able to deliver food, groceries, and medicine, whatever was needed to make a challenging time less stressful. But probably the most rewarding role we took on was communicating with the family members of our residents. We had countless conversations over several weeks that informed and calmed the hearts of families as we maneuvered through this difficult journey together. During these conversations, one thing many family members communicated was gratefulness. They were grateful our associates were doing everything within our power to ensure the health and safety of their loved ones. Along with all of this, the mission of serving those in our communities with the greatest financial needs was not lost. Your generosity in the midst of this crisis was nothing short of miraculous. I can't express my gratitude enough. Thank you so much. For the rest of our presentation, we'll be highlighting some of the ways you blessed others through your generosity to the foundation in 2020. And to begin, if you were with us last year, or if you had seen our impact report, you may recall our 2020 goals were to grow community support, to grow endowment for current and future stability, and to grow impact on residents and associates. In spite of all the challenges we faced, we saw much success in these endeavors. So I'd like to take this moment to introduce Matt Hildebrand, Development Director at Twin Towers, who will share some of these successes with you.
Thanks, Dan. I feel privileged to share with you our 2020 total invested support. And this support leads to an investment in people's lives. And that's really what gets us so excited about what we do at the foundation. We're encouraged to know that people view this community as a family. And as a family, we take care of each other and each other's needs. The total operating support received in 2020 was $902,090. And because of you, $15,000 was added to the endowment, and we thank you so much. There were 728 donors in 2020, and 259 of those donors were new. Our goal is to offer as many people as possible an opportunity to significantly impact lives. 461 of our donors came from outside the walls of Twin Towers and Twin Lakes communities, which speaks to our goal number one: grow community support. There are many people outside the walls of this community who love and value the type of community that we have. And so do I. I am so thankful for everyone that has given anything in 2020. And now I want to talk a little bit about the Benevolent Care Fund. Many of you have heard about this fund, and the Benevolent Care Fund helps ensure that residents who have outlived their personal financial resources or experienced some sort of catastrophic event continue to live in their home at Twin Towers or Twin Lakes, and they continue to receive the highest quality care and remain a part of our community that they love and value. This fund is truly the cornerstone of our ministry, and it provides support for LEC benevolent care costs, which reached over $1.5 million this past year. In 2020, contributions received for this fund was $303,230 for both Twin Towers and Twin Lakes. There is still a gap. Endowment and investment gains partially fund this gap, but because of your generosity, our promise still remains to ensure you that you will be taken care of when you become a part of the Twin Towers and Twin Lakes family. You supported, through the foundation, 67 residents this past year, which comes out to be about 1 in 12 residents that were supported through the Benevolent Care Fund. If you've been around Twin Towers or Twin Lakes for any length of time, you may have heard that we at the foundation talk a lot about being a blessing, and that the foundation's goal is simply to be a blessing to others, whether you're a resident, an associate, or even a family member. Here's an example of what that means to one of our resident family members. These are the words from a daughter of a resident that wanted others to know the importance of the Benevolent Care Fund. This person wrote this: "I cannot begin to express how much we appreciate Life Enriching Communities Foundation and the Benevolent Care Fund, and for the excellent care and services provided for my mother. My mother was widowed at a young age and never worked. If it wasn't for the Benevolent Care Fund, my mom would not have lived the quality of life she has been so grateful to live. We are dedicated to helping others live their best life." The Pastoral Care Fund helps to ensure residents at Twin Towers and Twin Lakes, their family members, and our associates receive spiritual support and counseling by providing the funds necessary to maintain the chaplaincy at Twin Towers and Twin Lakes. You know, one of the reasons that I was so excited 3.5 years ago to join this organization was because one of the core values is spirituality. And I do value that we have chaplains on campus and we have a pastoral care team that take care of not only the residents, but also the associates. The Pastoral Care Fund is the heart of what we do. It's the heart of our ministry, and your gift preserves, protects, and perpetuates our spiritual foundation. We're so grateful for the chaplains and for the pastoral care staff who serve us every day. Christy Strickard, Daniel Nikolic, Jeff Holmes, Sandy Lauman at Twin Towers here, and Jerry Mueller and Tim Crowley at Twin Lakes. In 2020, contributions for this fund were $50,329. We want to thank those who have given monthly to the Pastoral Care Fund. It means a great deal. What we love is that we are in the top tier of organizations who make it a priority to focus resources in pastoral care and spiritual support. We have the ability to do this because of you, and we thank you so much for all you do. And next, I want to talk briefly about the general fund. This fund helps ensure that our Twin Towers and Twin Lake communities receive the highest quality of support and resources by supporting the greatest needs. These needs range from supplementing unfunded benevolent care and pastoral care to closing the gap on unreimbursed nursing expenses for residents on Medicaid. You may be looking at that bottom part of our pyramid at unreimbursed nursing expenses, which is our largest mission need. We have some folks in long-term nursing on Medicaid. Twin Lakes had 5 residents on Medicaid served throughout 2020, and Twin Towers had 56. We organizationally make up the difference. It is the difference between what healthcare costs and the amount reimbursed by Medicaid, and this gap is fairly significant. It's over $4 million, and the healthcare provided to residents on Medicaid is no different than that provided to all of our residents. We are extremely grateful that the total contributions received for the general fund was $405,683 in 2020. The important thing to understand is the general fund goes towards serving the greatest needs, and it's critical funding used to fill gaps and support certain initiatives. A musical feast is the largest contributor to the general fund, and our artists and residents are a huge blessing to our communities. And this year we held a virtual musical feast event. And we had heard rave reviews on this program and presentation. It really was a neat thing to experience. This event gave us the opportunity to showcase our artists and residents and truly bless the community, the residents, and really get to see the talents that these artists have. A musical feast this year raised $170,155 for the general fund, and we welcomed 13 new corporate sponsors. The Life Enriching Communities Foundation is truly a team, and there's a team effort that goes into everything we do, and I feel truly thankful to have the best teammates around. I would like to introduce the development manager over at Twin Lakes. She's my counterpart, and she's awesome, and I'm going to ask her to take it away now. Tammy Racy.
Thank you for the introduction, Matt. As he said, I'm Tammy Racy, Development Manager at Twin Lakes. I'm happy to be here to share our state of the foundation and some of the wonderful things that have happened in 2020. The first slide I'll share with you is about our auxiliary partnerships. And this is a wonderful group of people who are committed and energized to help make our communities the best they can be. The Friends of Twin Lakes and the Auxiliary of Twin Towers are an integral part of our foundation. This past year, they've supported benevolent care and pastoral care, as well as helping to operate the campus shops. As you know, this year has been, different than most, different than any year, I guess we can say. And those shops being open played a vital part in helping us to maintain some sort of normalcy throughout the year. So we just thank you for your support and commitment, and know that you are a blessing to our communities. Next, we'll talk about our associate appeal. And this is exciting for me to talk about because as an associate myself, I'm proud of the fact that we are giving back to our communities. Hopefully you know that our associates, hopefully you know and feel that our associates value you and consider you part of their family. Not only do they invest their time, but they also invest their resources. So this year, as you can see, 43% of our associates participated in raising $27,049. And you can see from the graph off to the right, most of that went to the general fund, and you can see the distribution of how the other part of the giving fell throughout the year with regard to benevolent care and pastoral care. And our associate assistance program. I don't want to leave that out. But you'll see from the graph, we've had continued giving. It's been very consistent. And even in a year like 2020, we're just so thankful and grateful for our associates in giving back. As you know, many of them have had to play, many of us, I should say, include myself in that, have played different roles here and there throughout the year. Sometimes things that weren't in your original job description, but we've all pitched in and really tried to help out in any way that we can. So we are thankful for that. Next, we'll talk about our Grateful Hearts program. And this program was originally created to recognize associates who perform at their highest level every day and truly try to provide exceptional experiences to our residents. Last year, 120 associates were recognized and honored in this very special way. That raised a total of $8,700. And just so you know, I think most of you are aware, but when you do this and acknowledge someone, that associate receives a letter letting them know who acknowledged them and who wanted to, just share their appreciation. So we want you to know that the associates truly feel, and they actually get a letter, and it makes everybody feel so good. So thank you again for your support in that special way. Next, we'll talk about our LEC board support. This is very important. We have some amazing board members who have a wide variety of backgrounds and truly give of their time and talents to our organization and to support our mission. Each year, they financially support our efforts as well. In 2020, we had 95% board participation, which is higher than the norm, than the average out there. Most organizations see around 74, 75%. So we are very fortunate that almost all of our board members participate in this way. They raised a total of $32,444, which is fantastic. And again, they give of their time and talents. And you can see on the right-hand side, the little chart, how they support and how they give of those special talents through event sponsorship, through event attendance, through committee service, through personal contributions, and the $32,000 is a huge part of that. Professional expertise. They each come to us through, with vast experiences and that they can share with our team and also with our residents. I mean, they go above and beyond. So we are very, very thankful for them. And they also network and connect throughout the community to talk about the LEC mission. Next, we'll talk about community collaboration. And, as we think about 2020, it truly needed to be a collaboration with everybody. I mean, I saw our communities, our residents, our associates, our board members, outside community come in. Kara Shea and Michael Chertok were a great example of people from outside the community coming in and wanting to impact our residents during this time. So it was just a tough year, and we're truly thankful for our community collaborations. These are outside partners that value what we do and value our mission and what we provide for our residents. We had grant funders such as OP and WE Edwards, the Cambridge Foundation, GE Foundation, and the Ohio Department of Medicaid, as well as our resident partners. Thank you for giving back in such incredible ways throughout this entire year. We saw such an outpouring of love and support. It was truly a valiant group effort. And, as we say, in many walks of life, it truly takes a village to help everyone achieve those everyday exceptional experiences. And we're just very grateful for all of our outside partners, all of our residents who, like I said, have come together to look out for each other, to look out for, our associates. So we're very, very blessed. Next, we'll talk about planned giving. And, I want to share with you, the Living Legacy Club was created to recognize and honor exceptionally committed individuals who have provided long long-term critical funding through their estate plans, and they understand the importance of ensuring Life Enriching Communities Foundation can continue to impact the lives of our communities, our residents. You know, philanthropy through estate planning is essential to advance our mission and to sustain the organization's ministry as well into our future. Some of the common ways gifts have been named or given are through naming LEC Foundation as a beneficiary with your entrance fee refund, bequests by will or living trusts, so that's another one, charitable gift annuities, gifts of life insurance, charitable remainder trusts, real estate stocks or other assets. So in 2020, we received a total of $181,664. And, you know, I'll share with you, we're sad to announce that 4 of our Living Legacy members passed away. But because of their generosity, the $181,000 was invested into our neighbors' lives and will continue to impact our community long term. So thank you again for thinking of us in that special way. You know, please reach out to us if you have supported us, you know, and made us a part of your estate plan, but haven't shared that with us yet. That's something that we would like to recognize and honor. So please don't hesitate to reach out to Matt, myself, or Dan, and, you know, we definitely want to recognize you in a special way for that. Next, I'd like to introduce Dan McManus, the Executive Director of the LEC Foundation. Take it away, Dan.
To wrap up, I want to talk a little bit about stewardship. We want you to be assured that we are properly taking care of what you have entrusted to us. In particular, I want to touch base on the endowment. We talk a lot about the endowment because it's so important. The endowment is a long-term investment that lasts forever and adds stability during hard financial times. It's a portfolio of investments made up of historical and new gifts, as well as capital appreciation. These dollars are permanently restricted, which means the gifts or principal can never be spent. However, the income and appreciation can be spent. Our policy is to spend up to 5% of the total value of the endowment to support our missional needs, a large chunk of which is benevolent care, pastoral care, and long-term nursing. To manage our investments, we have an investment committee made up of senior staff, board members, and outside investment experts who meet quarterly to review our results and make any needed adjustments to the portfolio. We also have an investment policy which has a goal of minimizing risk and maximizing return. So let's look at our endowment to learn a little bit more about it. Currently, our endowment is over $10.4 million and generates income for 8 areas of support, including benevolent care, pastoral care, and long-term nursing needs for those residents on Medicaid. Our long-term objective is to grow the endowment so that through it, all of our missional needs can be met. Although most endowment gifts are made through estate planning, in 2020, one of our residents made a $15,000 outright gift to the endowment, which we are extremely grateful for. This gift was designated for the Twin Towers General Fund, which supports the greatest needs at Twin Towers. Often we're asked, how does the endowment impact us, or why is the endowment so important? The reason is because the endowment adds over $520,000 to our operating budget each year. That's a $500,000 gift each and every year. So if you're considering leaving LEC in your estate plans, we ask that you consider permanently restricting your gift for the endowment. It's a gift that keeps on giving and will impact the lives of not only today's residents, but those you will never know. We're currently very blessed today by our past residents who had the foresight to make this kind of gift. So what are our goals of 2021? Well, they're the same as last year. First, to grow the endowment for current and future stability through planned gifts and larger gifts. A big part of our job as a development team is to educate you on how to effectively do this, if you're so inclined. No pressure, just education. So why is this our #1 focus? Because the income that our endowment provides is significant, but only covers about 10% of our actual need. Our goal is for it to cover 100% of our need. Second, we want to continue to grow community support through corporate sponsorships and grant writing. We've been very successful at this to date and plan on continuing to grow it. Lastly, through your generosity, we want to grow our impact on residents and associates. We want to be able to impact more lives at a higher level. This is our ministry, to be a blessing. Well, we hope this information has been enlightening. I know there's been a lot of it to take in, but to help you, we'll be distributing an impact report which will highlight a lot of what we discussed. And you can always call us up if you have any questions. We'd love to talk to you. So thank you for your continued support and for investing in people and for being a blessing. Your generosity is heartwarming. Now, to close us out, I'll turn it over to our chairman of the board of the foundation, Ron Bashir.
Well, good evening. I'm Ron Bashir, and I have had the great joy the last 16 years of being on the board in some capacity, and I'm currently the foundation board chair. And I think what you heard tonight is just the fact that we had a great year, and we had a great year because of you. On behalf of the board, all of the people who serve on different committees, board positions, we just want to thank you for your generosity, your sacrificial giving, because it does make a big difference. And just going forward for this year that we're already in of 2021, God bless you. Hopefully we have this situation behind us and we're back fully together again. Just want to thank you.